Whatever you do, don't look behind you. Run!
Welcome back to our next indie horror game, Infliction, the extended cut. Small note, I've played this game before, finished it even, back in 2018 when they first released it. I remember making a mental note to play through it again when they added the extended cut content 2 years later in 2020, but then it got lost in my Steam backlog because my Steam library is literally a black hole of games that I'm probably not going to live long enough to play all of. But outside of this intro, I'm not going to talk through this one because I don't want to ruin the immersion of this game. It is absolutely terrifying, and there's no telling what horrifying shit was added in the extended content. So I'll read the notes for you and stuff, but I'm not gonna yabber through the whole thing. So here we go. Infliction, the extended cut. This is the place between places. Here there can be only sadness and resolution. This is where the lost are found, and vengeance rears its ugly head. Vengeful souls are born of violent death. Necronomicon, Abaddon, Volume 3.
Listen up. We've got some news hot off the presses. This station has received reports that the 2 lighthouse keepers from Oxford Point Island Lighthouse have vanished. The lighthouse keepers work.
You have one unheard message.
2 more lighthouse keepers headed
First
out to the
unheard
small island to
message.
relieve them. Upon their arrival, they could not find
Hi, baby. I'm stuck at the gate and they won't let me through. When you get back home, can you look for my ticket? I must have left them behind. Have a good look around and let me know. Love you. See you soon.
End of message. To delete this message, press.
Anywhere. It looks like they were halfway through dinner when something interrupted them. There were no signs of a struggle, and all their belongings were still there, including a journal kept by one of them. The journal states several times that the island was talking to them. The most common theory is that the men have suffered from cabin fever and were perhaps accidentally washed out to sea. Other cases like this have been reported on in the past, but have never been fully resolved. A full investigation has begun into this bizarre case. We'll update you as the story progresses.
Look how clever our little girl is. I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, but she can already draw better than I can. She takes after her daddy. That's a big box. What is it? Wow, nice wrapping skills. Oh my god, a puppy. I can't believe you did this. I love her. I'm gonna call you Sally. Okay. Now it's time for your gift. Can you believe it, Gary? It's not just the two of us anymore. Our family's growing. That 12-hour labor totally worth it. Little Maggie. Love at first sight does exist, and this is the second time I've experienced it. I'm so happy, honey.
Dear Sarah, thank you for writing to us in regards to featuring your artwork at the Tall Pines Gallery for the upcoming summer exhibit. Your enclosed sample artwork got many of us excited. You truly are a gifted artist. Unfortunately, all slots for this particular exhibit have already been filled. We do, however, encourage you to apply for the spring exhibit. Applications open on the 1st of February. Although we can see how talented you are, we receive many applicants for every exhibit and cannot guarantee you a spot, so we urge you to apply again. Thank you for sharing your work with us, and we hope you'll come along to the exhibit and meet some other local artists. Hello, I am happy to inform you that the inheritance process has been successfully completed and the will of Rose Ann Adage is now ready to be put into action. According to the will, I am enclosing a check in the amount of $50,084 and the deed to 17 Aspen Vigors Drive, Pleasant Falls, at the bequest left by Rose Ann Addish to you. In case you have any questions regarding the inheritance, please feel free to contact me. I appreciate your patience during this process.
Friday, June 4th, 4:15 p.m.
It's Mike here. I got a message earlier asking about changing the code to your security door. All you need to do is enter the code, follow the steps I told you on the day I installed it. I wrote the code on the back of my business card. If you have any problems, call me during business hours and I'll be happy to walk you through it. Thanks. It's Mike.
You're my heart and soul. Love, Sarah. Don't be afraid. I'm only going out for 2 hours. If Maggie can't sleep, just read her this book. It works every time. I'll be home before you know it. Dinner's in the oven. Love you.
Do you, Sarah Angela Eddridge, take Gary Ryan Powell to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold from this day forward, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, until death do you part?
I do. I got you a present. Behind the Black Veil 7. Just don't expect me to watch it with you. I know you love this horror stuff, but it gives me nightmares. Ghosts? Yuck.
public access.
Welcome back to Cooking with Massimo. Have you ever come home from work and found yourself stuck to what to have for dinner? Today, I've been asked to cook with ingredients you find around the house. No pancetta, okay? Let's see what we have here. We have mince meat. We have tomato sauce. We have mushrooms. We got the bread too. And a packet of pre-made pasta. Well, that's exciting. Oh, look here. Almost forgot the garlic. Okay, today we're gonna make some kind of rolled meat. A meat log, if you will. Let's start cooking off the meat. Lightly oil the pan. And set your stove to medium heat. Now, with the meat, you throw it in, slap it in here. If you like, you can add some salt and spices, but they gave me a nothing. I'm surprised they even gave me a saucepan. You know what? I'm not cooking with this packet of pasta. It can go straight in the bin. This meat's looking good right now. Time for the sugo. And some fungus. Stir this around and let it simmer. Now let's see. That's right. While it simmers, we gotta prepare our bread. What we want is a nice pocket. And now we put the meat inside. Oh, ma tu guarda, I forgot the garlic. Oh well, you get the idea. Okay, let's assemble this masterpiece of culinary delight. Here we have it, a meat roll. Eat the roll? I know eat the roll. You eat the roll.
Listen up. We've got some news hot off the presses. This station has received reports that the 2 lighthouse keepers from Oxford Point Island Lighthouse have vanished. The lighthouse keepers work in 3-month shifts. On the shift change, 2 more lighthouse keepers headed out to the small island to relieve them. Upon their arrival, they could not find the men anywhere. It looks like they were halfway through dinner when something interrupted them. There were no signs of a struggle, and all their belongings were still there, including a journal kept by one of them. The journal states several times that the island was talking to them. The most common theory is that the men have suffered from cabin fever and were perhaps accidentally washed out to sea. Other cases like this have been reported on in the past, but have never been fully resolved. A full investigation has begun into this bizarre case. We'll update you as the story progresses.
I'm stuck at the gate and they won't let me through. It's just the two of us anymore. See you soon.
listen up. We've got some news hot off the presses. Tragedy has struck Pleasant Falls. A woman was found murdered in her home. She was brutally stabbed over 10 times. The victim's name was Sarah Powell. Sarah managed to make a call to 911 before she succumbed to her injuries. The primary suspect of this brutal murder is believed to be her husband, Gary Powell. He was found deceased only mere blocks away, slumped over the steering wheel of his car after a fatal collision with a tree. The murder weapon was found in the car with him, leading investigators to speculate that he crashed his car while fleeing the scene of the crime. The couple had a daughter believed to be 19 years of age, but police have been unsuccessful in tracking her down. If anyone knows the location, please contact Pleasant Falls PD immediately. It is also believed that Sarah is a victim to domestic abuse. If you or someone you know is suffering from domestic abuse, get help before it's too late.
June 6, 1999. My hands are shaking as I write this. Maggie's gone. Michael's gone. Gary's gone too. At least the man I love is. It's just me and the monster living inside Gary. And the beatings are getting worse and I'm running out of excuses. So tired. The lady next door came over yesterday. She must have heard something. She urged me to call the police, but I just can't do it. I love Gary so much. He's never gotten over Michael leaving us, and he blames me. And maybe it is my fault. All he does is drink, locked in that basement day and night reading those weird books. He's so unhinged now. What do I do? I can't abandon him. I know Gary's in there somewhere, and I'll be right here when he surfaces again. Fuck, this is so hard. I have to stay strong for him.
The spells contained within this book are your pathway to power beyond your human ability to imagine. For once you to learn the intricacies of wielding such power, the book and the rites within will no longer be needed. Your body and soul will become a conduit for the darkness. Dark power and energy will be transferred through you into an object or focused on a task. You will give direction to those energies, their agent on this plane of existence. That does not mean that this book should be taken lightly. Its contents are dangerous and should always be treated with respect. To commune with the dead, one must open their mind to the ghostly fields of the ethereal. The world of the specters and the world of flesh are separated by a thin veil, held only by faith in a false idol. Once you give yourself over, you will stand astride both worlds. This alone is not enough to speak with the specter. You'll simply be open to it. The rite of scripture will need to be performed before you can summon the specter to you. Be warned. Death does not care for you or your aspirations. Performing such rituals is forbidden in most cultures for this reason. An earth lifetime is but a passing shadow in the face of eternity. Keep this in mind when you summon the dead. This ritual is often used in conjunction with other rituals to complete a rite. First, you will need to find a living creature. Any creature will do, but the larger the creature, the more effective the ritual. Face south and chant Atheria me to Darrow. Tol Anamon Meme. Repeat these words for the remainder of the ritual. Drain the life from the creature into a receptacle until it has crossed over. Drink every last drop. This concludes the ritual of sacrifice. The ability to commune with the dead is unnatural. This rite will require an individual to display their loyalty and understanding to the ethereal, for the ritual is a trial and will leave the individual bereft. Its soul must be stripped before it can be reshaped. This rite involves several other rituals and will not be easy. First, perform the ritual of sacrifice on every blood moon. You will do this until contact is made. Contact will often not be from the one you wish to speak with at first. Post-contact, your earthly belongings will become anchors, tethering the dead to you. You must source some objects. I don't know what that bottom sentence is. This ritual proves loyalty to the dark and spurns the light. It requires the desecration of false idols and is often used in conjunction with other rituals to complete a rite. In performing this ritual, you bring yourself closer to the beautiful dark. Smelt 6 relics that represent the false idol. The relics should be composed of precious metals. Once complete, melt the relics down and smith the metal into an inverted symbol of the false idol. Perform the ritual of sacrifice and imbue the object with dark energy. Repeat the step many times until you can feel a resonance. You now have a cursed object, a link between the darkness and the mortal plane. It is best served by being placed in the possession of a false idol devotee. Angry spirits are born in violent death. To set the spirit free, you will need to perform a ritual. For this ritual, you will need to gather the following objects belonging to the angry spirit: the body of the deceased, any part of the remains, images of the deceased, clothing worn in the eyes of God, an object of ancestral significance. Once collected, cleanse the objects with fire and spread the ash over the site where they were slain.
A woman was found murdered in her home, stabbed over 10 times. Managed to make a call to 911, had been victim to domestic abuse.
The monster living in me does his drink. Maybe it is my fault. I abandoned him so much. First of June, 1990. I asked him today what he does down there. He just stared at me silently with pure hatred. I don't understand how this happened. I don't know him anymore, and sometimes he scares me. He spends all of his time in that basement. Next time he does a beer run, I'm gonna sneak down there and look for myself. I trust Gary, but the man I'm living with isn't Gary anymore. I have to keep Maggie safe, if nothing else. 1st of June, 1990. Honey, it's been 4 years. I need you and I love you more than I can express. Please, please get some help. They have a clinic and... No, please listen. Don't get angry. No, please. I'm not the one with problems. I just need to numb the pain. It's the only thing I can do to not feel.
Welcome back to Cooking with Massimo. You have the ingredients to cook something truly special. Here we have some chicken been marinating overnight with some Infliction. This liquid gives it a really nice salty flavor. I want to tell you how to get this from your, but I think you know how I did. And next we want now you toss it into the pan and you drown it beer and a bourbon. It's a time for a drink now. You can leave that chicken and head out to the bar. You check on it later when you come back home. That's all from me. And come back next week and I'll show you how to really punish some lamb.
A spokesperson from the CADV, or Citizens Against Domestic Violence, had mentioned during a press statement that it's easy to turn a blind eye to domestic violence by explaining away the problem. Often in cases like these, the victim is in love with their assailant. As we all know, love often drives action. These cases often need outside intervention, but ultimately, it is up to them to help themselves. Usually, the assailant in these situations will suffer from addiction and sometimes deeper psychological problems. If you or someone you know is involved in a situation like this, please contact our anonymous helpline for guidance. In other news, the annual Orange Plum Festival is in full swing. Make sure you visit Main Street and sample the finest dishes our fine town has to offer. A spokesperson from the CA.
Who the fuck are you? All you do is drink. You're a monster. Can't live like this anymore.
How many deadly sins are there anyway? I do recall the number 7.